Right guys, welcome back to the channel. In this one what I'm going to be doing is fitting a digital dash to this Mark IV Caddy. So let's go ahead, let's take a look. So here we have the replacement dash. This is how it comes in the box. So we just open this up just to show you it quick. Obviously you get one yourself, you'll get the same sort of thing. Comes with some instructions there. Basic instructions. You've got the actual unit itself. Looks like this. And then in the bottom of the box, got various screws. You've got some trim removal tools there as well, which is handy, and some Torx screwdrivers, and then a lead like that, USB on it, so you get that as well, harness. That's basically what you get in the box. So let's carry on and fit it in the van. So obviously with your original clocks, I've taken a picture of them so you can know where your fuel gauge was and the mileage, just in case. Take a couple of photos, then just drop your steering column down a bit with the handle on the side, and then you can get to this piece of trim here to pull that off. That's just clipped on this piece, so pull that off, and then we get to the Torx screws behind it. So this piece just pulls off, and then this bit here is just clipped on at the back, so you can just pop them clips out of there and remove that. And then once you've done that, you've got your two Torx screws there, one there and one down in there to remove. So it's preferable to have a magnetic screwdriver to get on those, to undo those, just in case you don't want to drop the screws. So that's the two T20 Torx screws removed. And then just get hold of your dash wherever you can, just pull it forward, slide it out like that. Obviously it's got some connections on the back. We need to get it forward enough to get to those, to unplug that. So with the blue multi-plug on the back, you just flick up the purple piece with a pick to get that out, and then that, flick it right the way up, and then this connector would disconnect out of the back of the dash. Then you're just left with the original dash there, like that. So that's it, out of the vehicle. Just slide it out past this steering wheel. So here we have the two dashboards. Obviously this is out of a Mark IV Caddy 2018. So as you see, it's got the blue connector, what we disconnected on the back. And we got the new one, blue connector there, as you see. So what you need to do is obviously take this apart, and I'll run through it. So with the supplied screwdriver there, the Torx bit, you remove these four silver screws out of the back cover, so that cover just goes on there. Four screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, remove them. Then on the sides, you've got these tabs sticking up here on both sides that locate in there. You just get those off of there a little bit, and then if you get a Stanley knife blade there, the sticker that's on here, so obviously joining the two together there, sticker, just run the blade lightly through there, and then do the clips on the side, and then that cover will just lift off like that. And then you obviously got your board on the back like that, which lifts out as your dials like that. So what we've done next is we remove the needles off, so they look like that. They go in there, there's nothing holding them, they're literally just clipped in like that. As you can see, there's nothing there. This just pushes down onto that pin that's in the centre of them, same with the fuel gauge, temperature gauge. So what I found the best thing to do is with the trim tool they supplied like this, the thin one, is just get under them like that, and just do it at a bit of an angle. If you try and lever them up straight, even under there, they didn't tend to come off. You can try and pull them off, they don't come off. So you just get under a bit of an angle and flick them up like that, instead of trying to lever them up straight, and they all popped off relatively easily. So that's those off, out of the way. That's the 4. Need to remove all 4, obviously, to get the dials off. Otherwise these aren't going to come off, and you can't get the board off with the dial needles on. Right, so next what we've done after you remove the needles is to go on the back. You've got these little tabs sticking up, one there, and 2 on the other side, one here and one there. You just push them together slightly, at the same time hold the other side, and it start coming away. You've got these ones here as well, these round ones, they're just pegs, they're not actually clipped in. Just make sure it's all coming away nicely like that. And then there's here, see this black, that's a ribbon there, but this black piece there, it's like a clip. So as it's coming away, just unclip that, and then it should separate like that. You know, for the board there, and then the clocks there. So next, on the back of the board, you got these like that, with the pin sticking up. Obviously, if your speedo, fuel gauge, etc., they go in there. But if you look, what you need to do to remove them, they're simple enough to remove. On here, if you look on the other side, on the board, you've got white pieces there with a piece in the middle. There's the gauge, there's the needle sticking up, peg, what the needle would have gone onto. So you just push it in on those 2, like that, so they go right in. Make sure they're right out of the way. And then if you go on the other side, just gently get hold of it and just check if it is actually coming away, because it should pull away if you've pushed them through enough. So if you haven't, just double check it again, because sometimes they don't go, you think you've got them all the way right in, but you haven't. That's gone right through now. So as you see, it comes away. If you get it right through, it just pulls off like that. So you do the same with those, and you've got the 2 here as well, just the same principle. Just get on them, push that through, push those pegs in there, like that, right the way through. Like that. Do the same with that last one. That's those off. So here we have the new dash opened up like that, and then you've got your board you just removed. So that'll sit in there like this. Now you've got mounting holes for it, so when that sits in there, obviously this blue connector lines up with this gap here, so when you put it back together it lines up. But the screw holes for it, if you look, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 there, so they line up with those like that. You've got 4 or 5 holes. So with these 4, these come with the kit. So you've got these 4 of these little washers like that. Obviously you put them over there, and it stops the screws pulling through when you're putting it on the board like that. So you put them in place on those 4 there, like that, and then you can get your screws that come with it as well, little screws like that to screw it down. So that's the 4 screws in with the washers. Just do them a little bit at a time, crisscross the pattern, just to make sure it's holding them down. They take a bit of screwing in, otherwise the board will be loose if they're not all the way down, touching it. So now what you can do is flick the top back over carefully like that, and you get everything lined back up again. Just make sure you're not crushing that ribbon or anything when you're putting it in. Make sure that's right out of the way like that. When you clip it back together, and then so you can put your screw back in as well to hold it together. So when you put your screw in to hold it together, it's obviously clipped it together now in one piece. What you'll do is with your wiring, you've got your light blue plug there, the original plugs into that like that, so that one goes in there, light blue one, then the dark blue one goes up the other way and clips into that one, and then you've got this connector, and you've got two spare ones like this on the other end of here, like that as well, additional ones for extras, and that plug will plug into obviously the wiring, the original harness is in the vehicle. So we've got the dashboard fitted in now, so all we done was obviously put your two multi-plugs in the back, and then just take your time to hide the wiring from the dash and the original wiring, just tuck it out the way as best you can, because it make the dash fit better if you can get it out of the way as much as you can. And the two screws, in this instance, the two screws down the bottom here that we took out originally, I haven't even put those back in because the plastic was too far away, so there'd be a gap, so if you screwed the screws in, there's not actually touching anything, it would just be bending the plastic on this dashboard compared to the stock dashboard. So all I've done is this piece of trim is just pushed back in there, and it's holding the dashboard in there. It can't go anywhere, it's in there absolutely perfect. It's not even, doesn't even move. So I didn't even put the two screws in, and the fitment's fine around here. There's a little gap there. I mean, if you was very fussy, you could put some in there, but you can't actually see it. You could stick a piece of foam on the edge here, just around the edge there. You could stick a bit of foam around it. It's tight at the top. There's only a small gap there, just a bit of a slightly bigger gap there. It's fine down the sides. Same in that corner as well. It's just the very top corner there. So if you're fussy, you could put a bit of foam there, but you say you don't notice it. So that's it actually, that's how I actually put it in there. So it's fitted fine. And then, so I'll put the key in, turn it on, so you can see, like that. What I've done is, also, I've been out and put some fuel in the van to make sure that the fuel gauge was actually working and registering, which it was on the red. Now it's at the top there, as you can see. And obviously this display, you can have it on loads of different settings, and the controls, because this van's got steering wheel controls, it's done basically on here. So if you use this button there, it cycles along the top there to choose what you want. So you've got car, and then you've got Bluetooth. That, all those there are just the display. So if you choose one of them, so you just go down on the like that, and it just selects it. You just press OK to select which one you want. So you see it's on gear and speed at the minute. We'll see speed and then gear there. But if you just say you just select classic, you just press OK, it will just change it to just having the needles only in there like that. There's various different ones. And then you can have obviously the screen mirroring from your phone. So as you could have if you got sat nav, an app for sat nav, you can have that displaying on there as well, just in a different view. You wouldn't see it in this particular setup. You just have to choose one of the other dashboard layouts to select that. And obviously it's got Bluetooth, like I said. You got settings, phone, to link your phone to it, travel data, it's got battery voltage, it's got basically everything you're ever going to need on it really. So you can customise it, the colour of the needles, you can just do everything on there. So before I took the original dashboard out to fit this one, it says in the paperwork to order your speed with the original dash, or your speed beep, whether to like maximum or something like that. I never did that, just being transparent. I never actually bothered doing that. And I'll say I've driven it and everything's fine with it, so everything works. Now on the fuel gauge, what I did was, in the settings on this dash, I went in there and it's got fuel tank, the capacity, the fuel tank capacity. So I believe these are 45 litre tank capacity. So all I did was, you can just check your own, just check it on the internet, but I set this to 45 litres for the fuel tank capacity. On that particular setting, you can set up literally everything on it in the settings. Left hand drive, right hand drive, all sort of miles an hour, kilometres an hour. You can set up all of that stuff. So I just ordered it to 45 litre on the fuel tank capacity. The gauge seems to be reading okay. I mean, I might have to order it again if that's not correct. Then it's just trial and error. I might have to reset that and do it and set it to a different capacity. But for now, that's what I've done. So everything works. I've driven it. Everything works fine. The dash, etc. It looks absolutely perfect. It looks better, well, a lot better than the original dash for the money anyway. So very simple to fit. That probably took just allow a couple of hours for fitment, really. That's all it was. It's not that difficult, as long as you take your time and just be careful when you're taking the old dash apart. It's definitely not that difficult at all to do, and it definitely makes a difference to the vehicle. So if you found the video helpful, if you did, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more van related content. Till next one, I'll see you then.